I'm so excited to welcome you all to Happy Go Lucky at Heart podcast. I have a mission to support others with undiagnosed autism to get a diagnosis because my mum fought a long battle. But please don't go, because this podcast is for absolutely everybody, especially mental health too. And I mean everybody, because I will share with you lots of unique yet personal stories from all age groups. So please meet your host, Vicky Kidson, otherwise known as me. Buckle up, because it's going to be a long mission. So enjoy and live life to the full. Hi, so I'm back from my little break. Been to London, that was epic, and I just finished editing Brilliant Species. So Brilliant Species is a fashion brand for the disability community, and it's set up by an ADHD entrepreneur. His son is autistic, and his mission is to just empower people with disabilities and try to break the stigma surrounding all sorts of stereotypes. So please enjoy this interview with Jordan Walker, and yeah, hope you enjoy. Please give him some love, and yeah, read the show notes for the mission statement of his brand. I will put that in the show notes. So yeah, hope you enjoy. And remember, continue to be brilliant. So, can you tell us about yourself and your mission on
Of
Brilliant?
course. So my name is Jordan Walker, but I go by the name of Jordan Marquise, which is actually still my government. I'm 29 years old. Birthday's in a couple of weeks, actually, and I'll be 30. I am
Oh,
from
happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you. I'm pretty sure we'll still be connected, so you can tell me again on that day. But yes, it's in March, March 7th. I'm a Pisces. I don't know if that matters to anybody out there. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
Gemini.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I don't really go into the whole zodiac thing. I don't really. I'm a Pisces. That's all I know. I am from Los Angeles, California, born and raised. It's so funny that we're here at this in this on this podcast. I really I'm thankful to you bringing me on board to do this, especially during Black History Month. It's this is pretty awesome. For myself, I am a newly found neurodivergent. I've always kind of known just because of how I act and just because of how I think, etc., etc. I own Brilliant Species, which is also a company and brand that caters to the disabilities community. I'm an artist, entrepreneur, mogul. There's but it's so funny because as I delve more into the neurodiverse community, the entrepreneurial field is just it's what we do. Like, honestly, what you have in your podcast is that's if I'm pretty sure if you were able to do this as I mean, you're doing it, but if you were able to do this as your life's mission, I'm pretty sure you would probably do this. So, I mean, I think this is something that's new to me. Of course, it's new to me as a new business owner, but it's really new to me as being on the just announcing that I'm on ADHD, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah. So, and I also have my beautiful son who's on the spectrum. He'll be 5. His birthday is almost right after mine.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. His birthday will be like a month after mine in April. He'll be 5, and he's been on the spectrum since he was 2. Of course, he's probably always been on the spectrum, but since he was 2 is when we found out that he was on the spectrum, and it's been an awesome journey.
Yeah,
Can't say that it hasn't been. There hasn't been any lows because their lows are a part of life, simple as it is. But it's been awesome, as you hear in the background.
yeah. Can you share your journey as a new neurodivergent entrepreneur and how you got started in business?
So I've always been in the music side of the music side of never really put the neurodiverse things into my music and never really went off of that, but always been a part of music. That's always been something that's always stuck with me. My mom sings, both of my siblings sing. But as far as owning a business that is really wrapped in it and that's all that it's about mainly, I would say that journey came about. So funny. So this hat is Victoria. This hat is so old when I tell you that this hat is, I know, as you see from everyone else and as well as yourself, it says ISM, which is short for ism, right? It's so funny. Before I made this hat, my son wasn't born. I had already thought of Brilliant Species. Brilliant Species was something that came to me really young. I can't even lie to you. It came to me just as an idea, just as a thought. And just as a thought, I went and got this tatted on me at like 18, 19 years old. It just off the thought. I just went and was like, I know this is what I am. I knew that was what I was. I knew that I was a brilliant species. I didn't know that it was going to be a way that I can connect to other people on the spectrum or on the neurodiverse side of things. But yeah, it's really crazy. So this hat actually, for my side, it means I'm still myself. So regardless of what people may perceive of you or what they may call you or whatever you may go through, you'll always still be yourself. And that's what this hat stands for. And I actually wanted to wear it today because it's like Brilliant Species is just, it's super crazy. So the journey for Brilliant Species began only a year and a half ago, but it's always been with me since I was about 18, 17, 19 years old.
Brilliant. Can you talk about any projects you have launched to empower and support other neurodivergent individuals in the Black community?
So I hope that Brilliant Species will be that uplift and that inspiration as well as aspiration for others in the Black community as well as not in the Black community. But for sure in the Black community, because it's really big in the Black community and then it's not even talked about. It is talked about now, and I think that's because of all the information that's around it and all the knowledge that's being brought up. But when I was growing up, it was so funny. There's this Proud Family episode that's going around. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't even know if are you aware of the Proud Family on Disney Channel?
I haven't got Disney Channel on my.
That's because I know you're on that side. So Proud Family is basically this Disney Channel animation that came out almost 15 years ago, and then they brought it back out maybe 2-3 years ago, which is also, it's based in the Black community. It's based on a Black family, husband, wife, and maybe 3 kids or maybe 4. It has to be like 3 kids. The older daughter is, not to say normal, but she's a regular teenager, and she has 2 twins, and one of them, on this newer episode, which is obviously done in this newer age when we're all on board with the differences of people, they take both of their kids to the doctor to get them checked out. And the doctor comes back and she says, well, one of the babies is perfectly fine. She's doing well and she's above, et cetera, et cetera. And then she goes to the other one and she basically gives it like a heads up, like, hey, so nothing wrong, but this child seems to just be on the little slower side. And she explains to her that this child is on the spectrum. And immediately the father's like, ain't nothing wrong with my child. My child is smart and my child is da-da-da-da. And the doctor has to come back and she has to say, like, yeah, I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm just letting you know that this child thinks differently and this child will do things differently. And the mom understood, but the dad didn't understand. And that's literally how it's probably. And on the Black side, there hasn't always been both parents. So when you're explaining something, and when that's even the case of the doctor explaining that information, because during the last 20 years or so, there hasn't been that much explaining from the doctors to the Black community about differences in the brain. So that episode was just amazing.
Oh, interesting. I resonate with this so much. Like, my dad didn't want me to have autism and refused the diagnosis in me. And my mum, like, God, it's a long story, but she was legally adopted, and during my time in the care and under a care order, Herefordshire Social Services didn't take on my autism diagnosis and didn't think I had autism. And for foster care, I said I was stubborn. So I completely resonate with this, even though I'm white. Anyway, let's get back to the episode with Jordan. Any exciting new projects or plans you have in the works for your business in the neurodivergent community?
Yes, I can. So currently we are looking to take Brilliant Species. Well, not even looking to take. Brilliant Species has always been an inclusion brand, but as you see, the logo was kind of, it's Black owned. So the face was Black. The face is Black, and some people weren't really.
You ship to the UK?
I do. There's a lot of people. So actually, there's not a lot. Let me not say a lot. Whenever you're ready, there's been some people down there who I've shipped Brilliant Species to. So whenever you're ready, just let me know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the blackface from my side and from the Black community, of course, was receiving, because Black people are, of course, are not going to have any issues with seeing a blackface on a brand. And it wasn't that it wasn't inclusive, or it wasn't bringing that type of energy in. It was more along the lines that some people just didn't understand it. So our goal is to actually, over the next couple of months, is to do some more rebranding on the logos. Our new logo, I don't know if you had a chance to see it, Victoria. It is actually the new Brilliant Species with the wheelchair user, and I'm so excited to launch this. This one's so awesome, and it's been people have been raving about it. So myself and my fiance, we wore a few shirts out to our past event, and people were they were like trying to buy them off of us. And like, I didn't make these for that right now. This is something that I wanted to see how people would react to it. But yes, that inclusion piece is something that I'm really looking forward to. I'm so appreciative for you bringing me on here. That's something as well that's so super awesome.
No problem.
Of course. And then Charlotte, the Spectrum girl.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Super awesome. So excited to be able to say that we've collaborated on the clothes. So I don't even know when that even started. That had to have been like 6-7 months ago, when Brilliant Species was first even getting started. Like, I took a chance on reaching out to her, and she answered, and from then on, she's been on board with Brilliant Species.
That's how I found out about Brilliant Species, actually. I followed the Spectrum girl, and
she's so awesome. She's great.
What inspired you to start a business focused on empowering neurodiverse individuals?
Myself. But other than myself, so it started with myself, me not even knowing, and then my son, and then as you, of course, I don't want to say that if you're compassionate enough, if you love something enough, you'll also want to change or want to help in the situation. Because some people that's just not the way that some people are. But for myself, I wanted to be able to bring to the table. So when my son gets older, it's so funny. When my son gets older, I always say this around his mother, that I don't want him to have to look for a job, that I want him to just be able to take over. Brilliant Species isn't even mine. Like, Brilliant Species is his already. Like, if he doesn't want to continue Brilliant Species, that'll be a different story. But I want him to want Brilliant, to like take it and do whatever it is that he wants to do with Brilliant Species. So for him and other people like us and people, period.
Father like son.
Father like son, exactly.
What are some of the biggest challenges you have faced as a neurodivergent entrepreneur?
Staying out of my head and just allowing myself to be myself. It's so hard to actually just
it's hard to get into a routine sometimes.
It's so good to be able to just relate.
Yeah, but when I'm in a routine, I can focus and I get so much stuff done.
Exactly. Once we're in it, we're in it. And there's no telling what we might be able to. Yep, that's it. So that just being able to just be myself and allow myself to think when I can, and then be able to initiate on those things that I want to get done.
Amazing. How has your neurodivergent perspective influenced the way you approach your business?
For myself, I learned that I needed to have a different perspective. As a neurodivergent entrepreneur, I try to look at the full scope all the time, and I try to include as much as I can. But that itself can take a toll on your mind and on you, period. I'm still learning.
Yeah, we're always still learning. There's always new information around, and you always
exactly.
Can you talk about the impact you hope to make in the neurodiverse community through your business?
Of course. My hope is that Brilliant Species will become a household name for the disabilities community, for children and adults. Down the line, I'd like to. So without even reading from my phone, because some of this stuff I honestly needed to write down just so I make sure that I was on it. But from myself, so right now, fashion is what I've always loved. Fashion, music, anything that's along the lines of being creative. Right now, Brilliant Species is a fashion brand. And I always will want it to be a fashion brand because my side.
Creativity is like my superpower as well.
Yeah, it's just that's us. I think that's just us. Brilliant Species and creativity for sure. We got that covered. But so right now it's a fashion brand, and hopefully in the next, I don't want to put a stamp on it, a time stamp, but hopefully down the line in the future, Brilliant Species will be able to have a headquarters, and other Brilliant Species people with disabilities, kids and children, will be able to come there, and we'll be able to help them through anything that they're dealing with through life, as well as job placements and et cetera, et cetera.
Amazing. Can you discuss any collaborations or partnerships you have formed with other neurodivergent entrepreneurs, and why these relationships are important?
From my side, I'll say you first and foremost. Because this is what we should be doing. This is called spreading information. From your side, you'll be able to spread information on your side, and from my side, as you see, I always post your podcasts and your videos. It's all about, of course, it's all about spreading information in the best. Right now is technology. So we're spreading information the fastest way possible. So this podcast is awesome. And then I would have to go to my good friend, and I call him my little brother, but he's not my little brother. But his name is Benjamin, and he has Tourette's as well as ADHD. And I brought him on board immediately when I really made the decision to make Brilliant Species, because I just wanted him to be a part, because I've always been so intrigued on the way he just operates. He's also an entrepreneur. He owns his own business. He used to do music. I think he'll always do music, but he's also an entrepreneur, and I needed him on board with Brilliant Species. So I brought him on board, and he was in the first photo shoot with Brilliant Species. So yeah, him, and then Charlotte. And I swear, the more that we come together and the more information that we spread, I really honestly think that that's going to be the ticket to,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The world's our oyster. Definitely.
Right. Exactly. The world is our oyster. Exactly.
How do you believe the business world can better support and include neurodivergent entrepreneurs from the Black community?
From my side, this one's a good one. From my side, I would say that the business, the business can and will, I don't, what's the word? It just literally just left my mind. So yeah, it literally just left my mind. But nonetheless, I'll just skip past that word. It's so hard to say that the Black community has always had entrepreneurs, and I won't say that they've always been neurodiverse or along those lines. I mean, the Black community has always had entrepreneurs, and it always seemed as if we didn't get the credit for the idea or the. So that's something that's changing. A lot of things are changing, and I'm so happy that they're changing in our lifetime. But the lifetime before ours, when there was a Black entrepreneur, they didn't get the credit for the work that they put in. They were always either the idea was taken or they were basically back shelved, and someone else was put in the highlight or the spotlight to make it seem like it was their company, and that wasn't the case. But that is changing, and I think that as long as we're on the road that we're on right now, I think we should be perfectly fine.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Right, exactly. Let's hope so.
How do you see the neurodivergent entrepreneurship landscape evolving in the future?
I think it's big. It's also getting bigger. As we were just talking about, once we find our niche, it's no telling how far we'll be able to take it. I mean, it's really up in the air. And then it's so funny because I was just reading back to the fact of my friend who's also an entrepreneur and owns his own business, and also on the spectrum, et cetera, et cetera. Entrepreneurial field for us is just untapped, and we're taking over. We're all business owners, so I think it's going great.
What advice would you give to aspiring neurodivergent Black entrepreneurs looking to start their own business?
Stay true to yourself. Don't let the little thoughts outweigh the big ones from others and in your own mind. Work your way and not in anyone else's.
Yeah, wise words.
Yeah.
Could you speak about the role of community and supporting the success of neurodivergent entrepreneurs, particularly for the Black community?
I would love to say that I can speak on that one. Like I said, it's getting better. It really honestly is getting better. It's so funny. I see so many grant applications or grant. I don't know if they do that out there. You're in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Are you aware of what a grant is?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. So out here, every time I'm on Instagram or wherever I am, I'm always seeing something for a grant for small business owners in the minority and Black community. So I mean, all I can say is that's a good thing. I think they know.
I don't think anything. I think there is independent, but it's mostly government funding.
Yep. It is. Exactly. It is government fund. Most of the grants that I see are government funded grants. So yeah. But I mean, it helps.
Yeah, it definitely helps. In your opinion, what is the most important aspect of a business that neurodivergent entrepreneurs should focus on?
Making sure that your hindsight of your mind is in alignment with your goals, making sure that you're not just talking it, you're actually walking the walk. that's mainly all I can. That's just making sure that you're staying true to what you're actually doing.
Yeah, definitely. How do you believe neurodivergent entrepreneurs can play a role in changing society attitudes towards neurodiversity?
Just putting it in their face. Just continue to just keep putting it in their face, because I mean, the people who won't accept it, they won't accept it. I mean, that's just how they are. And the people who which I know for a fact that will outweigh the people who will accept it will outweigh the people who won't accept it, if you get what I'm saying.
Like
So
Taylor Swift's song, "Haters Gonna Hate, but I'm just gonna shake it off."
exactly. So I mean, as long as we continue to just keep for ourselves, continue to just be ourselves, but also in even when we're out. So when like I said earlier, when I'm out, I think when I'm out, I'm a different person, because I guess there's a word for it, masking.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm still learning. I'm still learning. So when I'm out, I guess I'm more along the lines of just trying to get back to myself, which is in the house. When I'm in my comfort zone, when I'm around my son or around my fiance. So I mean, as long as we just yeah,
Masking is a huge topic at the moment as well.
it is. It really honestly is, because it's a scary thing. I went through the last almost all of my adulthood, not all of my adulthood because I'm only 30 years old, but for the last 7 years previously, I was like in a totally different, I was just blanked. Honestly, my mind was blank.
Yeah.
I was literally just on like this go to work, come home, do whatever, go to work, come home. But I was so zoned in, I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah. I can mask like my stimming, I mask my stimming and my eye contact. I look people like
Eye contact is a big one for me.
yeah.
And interrupting people.
Oh yeah, I interrupt people. Yeah.
And interrupting people. But I don't do it on purpose. Everybody who's going to watch this and who's watching, we don't do it on purpose.
Yeah, I interrupt the conversation, but then I talk about something completely different what we're talking about and put it like my special interest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We're on the same field there.
How do you see the intersection of neurodiversity and ways affecting entrepreneurship and business opportunities?
I think it's open. I really honestly think it's open. I just posted something on Brilliant Species yesterday of a woman who was denied so many. She was denied of so many jobs, not even applications, because you could put the application in, but she was denied of so many jobs, and then eventually ended up turning her. She has Down syndrome, and she ended up turning her baking business into, I don't even know, it's probably $1 million business, because she also hires other people with disabilities. So I mean, I think the intersection is open.
Yeah, definitely. What do you hope my listeners will take away from this podcast episode about neurodivergent Black entrepreneurship?
To connect with us. Connect with us, like me and Victoria connected right now, because the more we connect, the more knowledge we can spread, and the more love we can spread. This podcast, as you see right now, me and Victoria love each other. There's love in this podcast. So as long as you connect with the Black community, the other community, just connect with the community as neurodiverse, disability community. It doesn't matter the community. Connect with people, be yourself, stay true to yourself, and let love do what it will do. And yes, we'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And last question, what do you envision for the future of neurodivergent entrepreneurship, and how do you plan to be a part of it?
I don't want to put too much on it. I plan to be a forerunner. I plan to be right up there in the front. if I'm holding my son's hand or he's holding my hand. Maybe I'm the one who's old at this point and he's holding my hand or something. I don't know. But I plan to be at the front. Hopefully it's through Brilliant Species. And if it's not through Brilliant Species, I still plan to be there.
Great, amazing. And to finish off, I always finish off with some silly questions. So what do you prefer, beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Yeah, beach.
You like the beach? I don't like the sun.
Yeah, I love the beach. Are you by a beach in Los Angeles?
I'm not too far from a beach. I would say it's probably about 30 minutes from me.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do a disclaimer now because in the previous episodes I said I really like mountains, but I've only actually kind of drove through mountains.
Yeah.
Like in the car. So I've never
so because I've never been to the UK, all I know is about this California, United States life. Okay, so there's nowhere to go hiking out there?
There's mountains in Scotland, and well, I'm not too far from Snowdon, which is the tallest mountain in Wales. It's basically just Scotland and that Welsh mountains.
Scotland's on my checklist. I need to make it over there. I've always heard the best things of Scotland, and in the greenery that they show in movies, I just got to make it over there.
Yeah, some in Lake District as well. You're probably thinking why I haven't been up a mountain. Well, I've been like in and out psychiatric hospitals with psychosis, and before that, like I was so fatigued because I had delayed puberty and hormone deficiencies, so didn't feel like doing any exercise, pretty much bed bound. Like I couldn't get up to school in the mornings, and I was just so tired. So that's why Mum home educated me. One of the reasons, because I was struggling at school. So yeah, and that's why my mum got legally abducted and got accused of fabricated induced illness, which is trying to like get evidence it's not real basically. Anyway, that's why. Let's go back on to these silly questions. What do you prefer, crunchy peanut butter or smooth peanut butter?
Wait, okay, so you said punch or peanut butter?
Crunchy peanut butter or smooth peanut butter?
Crunchy. I would go with I can't deal with the crunchy one. I would have to go with the other one.
Smooth, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find textures in food hard to do?
Yeah, sometimes, especially I can't. So insider disclaimer. So anytime that like gristle in meat, like if there's like fat in like a meat, I can't eat that. Anything bouncy, I can't do it. Like if it's bouncy in my mouth, I don't want
it. I like crunchy peanut butter. I had therapy to help me cope with sensory and textures in food.
Gotcha. So my son's in therapy to try to. He currently only eats 6 things, and that's how it's been since he's been born. He tried things when he was younger, but not a lot. He's never had a piece of meat. Yeah, never had a piece of meat in his life. But when he was younger, he would try different fruits and everything. But now he only eats crackers. He only likes the smoothie pouches. That's about it. Well, yeah, crackers and smoothies. Sometimes Cheetos. Oh, and we cannot forget. I can't say it out loud. He'll make me go get them. French fries.
Oh yeah, I love chips.
Oh yeah, I think he loves Cheetos. I can say that one out loud.
Yeah. And then last question, morning lark or night owl?
Night owl. Oh, well, I'm both. It depends, because I can stay up. I have a hard time sleeping when I don't medicate myself to sleep. But I also can wake up really earlier and be outside. I'm usually out at about 6 o'clock in the morning if I go out and work out.
Yeah, I'm definitely a night owl, but I've been getting I do like the mornings. I like sunrise. I like sunset. Yeah.
I think I could do both.
Yeah. But I think I prefer a good sunset.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I could do both. I would rather do morning because it's cold and I don't like I told you, I don't like the sun very much. So I would probably do morning.
Yeah. Thank you, Jordan, for being on my podcast. Really good.
Of course. Thank you, Victoria. And from my side, I'll be sure to tell people to tune in whenever you. So wait, it wasn't live just yet, right? Then you're gonna go back and edit it, et cetera, et cetera. So whenever you release it, I'll be sure to tell everyone to go check it out. And thank you for having me on the podcast. Thank you again, and have a nice rest of the day, because I know it's already like late.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna have some food now.
All right, have a nice dinner then.
Thank you, and you.
Bye, Victoria.
Yet another wonderful interview. Much obliged for you to stay and listen to Happy Go Lucky at Heart podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please keep on boasting about it to your friends and family. And if you have any spare time, please help an independent podcaster get known. So please leave a 5-star review on whichever podcast platform you listen on, and click the link in the show notes for many more ways to connect with me. Bye! Mwah.